Alrighty, guys. So here we have some Caravan electrical. So small Gypsy Caravet 6, Caravet 5, 6, not sure. It's a 6. The old Gypsy Caravet 6 got good bones, but a little bit unhappy with the electrical, so I've decided to rebuild it. And there was a hole in this box, and the lock was broken, so I've decided to. This is actually from a Centurion gate motor, so that's working nicely. So I guess we start from the beginning. What I've done is a lot of the electrical cables I've just replaced. It's old, and a lot of it is short and really pull tight. So what I've done here, I've got all the adapters for Caravan Park, but because while we're building it, it's next to the street. I don't want prying eyes seeing cables. So I'm just run off an extension going through there. So on our mains, and I've put this in yesterday, is a 2.5 mil 3-core wire. So that can handle 25 amps. And then I'll probably get another sort of 10 meters of that just to connect into, using these adapters, connecting into whatever the Caravan Park has to offer. Now, let's remember a few things about electrical is that your caravan parks, from what I'm told, are mostly limiting you to 10 amps. So I've got wire capable of running 25 amps coming into the main. And there's a reason for that. But first, guys, keep your work as neat as possible and your work area as neat as possible, unlike me, because trust me, I've been tripping over shit for the past few days. Stood on my glasses, everything, you name it. That's I've done it. So right, back to the electrical. What we've got here is it originally just had the cable coming into the DB board, and then it had this 12 amp charger, 12 volt power supply. So not happy with the wiring on that, so I've redone everything, right? Now, what I want to do is I have a small inverter that's going to go up here. I've got to make a plan with them light switches. And then I'm going to get a Bar1's Cry1 7.5 kilowatt, 7.5 kilowatt hour, 24 volt battery that's going to go in there. And I'm going to plumb it in through the seat and along the top there and back here up to the inverters of the battery cables and the solar cables through 50 mil PVC drain pipe. So especially in here, whatever's falling around in there isn't going to damage the battery cables. And then, of course, have a battery breaker that's going to go here somewhere. But until I get the battery, which is in a week's time, that's when the stock arrives, I cannot put any of that in. Also, while we're building, I wouldn't leave the battery in. So that's I'm doing the infrastructure. Well, I've done the infrastructure. So a few tips when you're doing your caravan wiring. The first to remember is your breakers. Your breakers are all going to have an amp rating on 10 amps, 5 amps, 10 amps. In here, we've got an earth leakage and 10 amps. Now, your earth leakage saves your life, and your breaker saves the caravan's life. So if a live wire touches earth like something in here, it's going to trip that earth leakage and cut the power. So that saves you from getting a shock. And more importantly, your caravan, you don't want it burning down. So that's why I put 2.5 mil wire from the front all the way up through into this first main DB. And in that way, what is inside this DB is an earth leakage, and that's why I push to test often, and then a 10 amp breaker. So I've got 25 amp wiring running to a 10 amp breaker, and that, as long as your wiring is bigger than or equals to the breaker, it's not going to burn. So if you are running a kettle and a microwave and fridge and everything, and you only have 10 amp wire and all of that is pulling 20 amps, or you plug a heat in and that, you're not exceeding the rating of the wire. And that's what the breaker's for. So the breaker's going to trip before the wire burns. So that's why we are limiting everything over here. And we'll get to that. You're limiting everything with the breakers, which are these smaller switches, and you're saving your life with the earth leakage. That's the main thing. That's the correct way to do AC wiring. Another tip is if you are running cabling underneath your caravan like this, just tie a knot in the cable before you go down. And that prevents you from, if you snag something in the road or something, it is actually just going to pull tight on that knot. And I'd rather have that cable break and you don't know the cable's broken, but you're going to get this thing starting to trip. And then you can go and find the problem. I'd rather have that than arrive at your destination only to find that your DB boards are damaged because the whole cable ripped out and broke everything. So, right, onto the system. Now, I like to over-engineer things a little, which is why I've got, well, basically that battery, which is going to go there, the tire I'll find another, spare wheel I'll find another place for. We'll run this little fridge for about 2 weeks. I mean, it's mental. So rather buy ones, cry ones, because that will be the equivalent of 8 100 amp hour lithium batteries. So just the weight of that and the cost is almost double. So we'd rather do that and get that. Not to say we're not going to put in 100 amp hour lithium. So what I want is, and I have got the inverter, is a 24 volt, 3500 watts. I'm very happy with it. I've been testing it at the moment in the house. And then I'm going to have the massive lithium battery here. So that would keep me off grid. And then on the roof, we're going to have 3 450 watt monocrystal panels. So that should keep us going for some time in sunny weather if there's no power. Now, even if you had a caravan park, there's going to be no power because load shedding and transformers and blah, blah, blah. You know, one of my priorities of comfort in life is having power, AC and DC. So this is quite important to me, and it's better get the infrastructure in now. So onto the infrastructure. What am I doing? So first I've got, as I said, at 25 mil wire running to this board over here. And then this board over here has the earth leakage and then a 10 amp breaker. So that is limiting the power coming into the caravan, is limiting me to what they're going to supply at a caravan park. I'm limited by this breaker because I'm going to be limited by their breaker, so we match up. And then I'm switching over into still on 2.5 to this plug here at the bottom. And there is a very good reason for that, because the inverter, I imagine, is going to be in and out, or, you know, it's currently being tested. And the way I have it in the house is it plugs into a wall plug, and there's just a few items running off it, which runs off a Janus coupler. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Only this plug over here, which is running through this. So that essentially, the plug will be powering the caravan's DB. And that I can plug from the main utilities in to the inverter's AC output, switch that on. Now I'm running off the inverter. And to charge the inverter from utility, the inverter will plug into here. So from here to the inverter, and then that plug will just move up to there. There is another plug in here, and that's because it's running a 240 volt light. I need to upgrade that cable, and the reason for that is that it's just, well, it's been a work light, and it's also going to let me know when the power has come on. Let's say the power's off for like 2 days. You know, the power's off for 2 days. That will just be a show and tell. And then over here, I've got another plug which says LRPO for AC charge, and that's for the 100 amp hour lithium charger. So I'm going to put a 100 amp hour lithium battery in there, and it's going to have a DC breaker to come to the DC out, and then that is going to have a proper lithium charger on. So even if we're running off Caravan Park power. I'm going to have a backup of the 7.5 amp power inverter, and I'm going to have a 12-volt backup, which is also being charged by the inverter and the solars for the 12-volt systems, because you're running 12 volts and you're running 230 volts. So that's what we've got. And then on the 230 volts, we've got a little charger here. And that, or on the 12 volts, it's got a little power supply. And I was very unhappy about this because it was just one thin speaker cables attached to it, and then it branched off around underneath the caravan to all the 12-volt points. Not very safe, completely unfused and everything. So that is just not safe and not right. But first, we're going to attend to the AC, which we have mostly done. I've added took a single light, put a double plug in there. There's another double plug swap I have to do there, and there is a double plug there. But now running on my 12 volts is my water pump, and the lights, and the router's going to be running off it, and the hard drive DC jack, and obviously phone chargers and that. So what I do have to do is to still in here install a fuse box. So coming from the charger and the battery will join, and will come from there, and from there they will have to be isolated, and we'll go into this fuse box, and then each line, as you can see, going out has been labeled. So get a labeler, otherwise you're never going to know what you did. Everything here is labeled. I know exactly what's going on. And so for now, yeah, I've got that just supplying the DC charge until that goes in, and then I can determine which fuse. But that's going to be a whole other video. What I first wanted to do is this. So the basics again, make sure your breakers match your wire size, because coming out of here, out of all these different circuits, so let's to label the last one. That last one is for that plug. Is 15 amp, and the breakers vary between 10 and 5. So the 12 amps on a 5. Can always change it, but I haven't needed more than that. So we got that for the caravan, and that for the main AC in, and then we got our battery isolation switch. All you need, and very, very simple. So you've got sufficient cabling running in straight into a DB. That'll protect you from anything happening on the caravan park side and anything happening on that cable, and anything after it. So you're well protected there. That goes to the inverter. Inverter comes out to here, and we take our mains and we just plug it in there. Now we're running off the inverter. At the moment, we are just running off the main utility in, which is a plug coming directly from here. And that plug feeds to the caravan DB, where everything is distributed, which DB stands for, DB board. And that's come out to our 12-volt power supply. So we have a changeover built in there, and a changeover built in here between these two plugs. And actually that should be a single plug, but I've left it double so I can run that light. And our two DBs, one for the mains in and one for the caravan distribution. And it's that simple. So guys, get a labeler, tie a knot in your cables, make sure it matches, and make sure everything's got an earth leakage, and you should be golden. And just another tip, a last tip, is just, guys, just finish things. If you don't have the experience and you're not as fast, get one plug-in in a day and get it done. It's done when it's labeled and wired and tested, and we pop the tester in, and it's working. Live, earth, and neutral is correct. Everything is great, and then you're done with that. Then move on to the next one. So it's been a bit of a mission fitting this DB, but we got it in. Everything looks nice and neat, and I'm quite happy with that result. So I think next weekend or during the week, we're going to start tackling the DC side of things, the 12-volt side of things, and then get our battery So our AC is 100%. That's going to cost a bit of money. And get our DC 100%. Then I know that the electrical is good, safe, and proper. There are a lot of little accessories I want to put in still. There's a lot of 12-volt jacks in here that we're going to be using. So you can get these little 12-volt, and then you just make fly leads to connect your router, obviously the board, and I have a couple of really nice cell phone charging points. I have a battery meter for the lithium battery. And then I got a couple of these. So I've got some fast charging points. And then I think we're good to go. I also have got another one of these. So all of this needs to be rewired, and that all needs to, it all comes from this cupboard. So at the moment I've got a cable that's just there. It's not connected. It is labeled. And the DC is going to require maybe another 2 days. So it's 4 days worth of work to get this electrical in, and then a bit. So let's call it 5 days and some change. But once this is done, it's done. And you got new wiring. Everything is done. You know how everything works. You know where everything goes. And you're golden. So, yeah, just a couple of bits of advice on, this is just here. So again, you've seen it in videos. I can, just by process of elimination, I can run the microwave. And so we know the 12 volts as it is pulling. That is off, fridge is off. Our fridge is running 117 watts. So now the fridge is off. Then I put it back on. See that start up on the fridge to up to 500 watts. So you got to be careful. And then it's going to go down to 117. So you have to be aware of that. And then so 2.38, let's turn the fridge off. And then I know that the lights are running 0.1 watt or 50 watts. So our fridge running is 100 watts, and so far our lights are 50 watts. Electric blanket is 60 watts. So I'm to date on 200 watts of power. So I think 3,500 watts is going to be more than sufficient for me. Got a gas. I'm buying one of those mini kettles. I want to see how much it uses, and then I want to see how much the microwave uses, maybe upgrade that. And when the router and everything is connected, how much we are pulling on the 12-volt battery or the 12-volt side of things. But so far, we're well within range. See, that is now the fridge and everything is on. And we're down to 40 watts or 0.1 amp. So we know through this already, this is just a meter I'm keeping around for now, that we're well within range of our wires capabilities, our circuit breakers capabilities, and the inverters capabilities. So, yeah, it's so far a win. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, pop a comment or any questions, and yeah, let us know. Thanks for watching.